line function. If you have a follow-up, please ask it following your first. First question, Bob Stauffer, 6:30 Chad.
Zach, you get a little bit of sleep on the road that you might not have been getting at home, and congratulations. And just a thought on building off the win the other night.
Yeah, Staff, it's definitely get a few more hours consecutive, but hey, that's what kids do to you. It's a good feeling. My wife and maybe Olivia are doing awesome. They're at home now, so couldn't ask for anything more than that. But going on to your next question, we're looking forward to tonight. Obviously, we feel like we got some traction from the last game. That offensively wasn't our best, but we felt we've made some strides, and it's something to build off of.
Next question, Rob Chichkowski, Post Media.
Hey, Zach, speaking of downtime, in the old days, the team would go on the road and the guys would be able to go out for a nice dinner and hang out a little bit. And now everything's closed. You can't even hang out in the hotel rooms. What's that like? Can you describe a typical night on the road now?
It's essentially a traveling bubble, but as players, we feel fortunate. I've said this before, to even play. There's obviously a lot more tougher situations going on in the world today, but obviously we don't get to go for the dinners, and we don't get to hang out as much as we'd like. But at the end of the day, there's rules set in place to hopefully move on from this sooner rather than later. And the rules are set in place for everyone, and we have to follow them just like everyone else.
So, I mean, does this maybe help with your focus as a player, or maybe strip the fun a little bit away of being a player on the road?
Well, there's definitely a lot of downtime, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? It's not like this just has happened. It's been going on for a while, and we feel lucky enough that we even get to play. So obviously it's fun going out for dinners and hanging out with the guys and doing stuff like that, but that's put on hold, obviously, and we've accepted that.
Mark Masters, TSN.
What did you feel you guys did well defensively a couple nights ago to limit them?
Well, if you look at their offensive lines and their team in general, they normally generate a lot of offense, and I thought we did a pretty good job of that. Obviously, they're probably saying they didn't do a great job of generating it, but we feel we did a good job of shutting it down and limiting those chances. And obviously, it's going to make for a good game tonight. Obviously, they're probably going to want to create more offense, and we kind of want to build where we left off.
How does the absence of Austin Matthews tonight, he's out injured, change the dynamic, do you feel?
Well, obviously, when you lose a player like that, it doesn't help the team, but at the same time, they have a lot of firepower. They have a lot of good skilled players, and they have a deep team, and they're going to bring the work tonight. But at the end of the day, I'm sure they have people over there that can contribute, and I'm sure they're going to get that out of guys over there tonight.
Last question, Jack Michaels, 6:30 Chad.
Zach, first of all, I did mention Ellery. I don't want her getting jealous. But secondly, my question would be, in terms of guys like Archibald and Yamamoto, we think about these matchups physically where, you know, you're matched up with guys your own size. But I'm just wondering, from your viewpoint, does it help having two undersized guys who play the way they do and have the ability to frustrate and occasionally hurt bigger players with the way they throw their body around?
Yeah, those two players have done a great job for us. I think they're not going to give the bone-crushing hits, but they're very good at getting underneath guys. They hound the puck so well. They're smaller guys. They're very agile. And that's the way it seems like a lot of teams are going, and they do a great job stick on puck, creating turnovers, getting underneath guys. Sometimes that's more frustrating than the big hit. So they have to continue to do that for us to be successful.
As that game wore on, did you sense that the way the game was going, because you were ahead, was frustrating Toronto, that they weren't able to generate much offense and because of the way you were taking away the middle of the ice?
I think so. Obviously, when you have a lot of goal scorers and a high output of offense on another team and they're not producing or not creating chances, it's definitely frustrating. I think our top guys would say the same thing, but that game's done. That game's over. I feel we did a good job, like you mentioned, taking away the middle of the ice. Not a lot of grade A. And if we can do that and limit that, you're going to give yourself a chance to win tonight. So.
two late ones here, Jim Matheson and Jason Berger. Jim, go ahead.
Zach, a question for you. When you play a team back to back, which doesn't happen very often in the regular season, certainly not in the same building, is it more difficult for the team that's won the game because the other team said, okay, now we're playing the same team again, so now here's what we didn't do well. Now next game we're going to be much better, as opposed to the regular season where you play a team once, then go and play another team.
Yeah, it becomes a little bit of more of a chess match where you saw the team 48 hours before, and there's teams that, the team looks at video. Obviously, there's no secret about that nowadays, and they try to critique what they can do to create more chances or play better, and then we're doing the same thing. So it obviously comes down to who executes better in that second game and who has more urgency, and that's going to be big factors going into those, especially the second game with the same opponent.
Good, thank you.
Last one here, Jason Berger, TSN 1260.
Zach, the last 2 years, you've got the 28th most 5-on-5 goals in the league. You fit in well and contributed a lot. I know you said you don't want to change your game, whether you're on the first line or if you're down on the bottom six. But do you feel more pressure to score now because you've proven it the last 2 years to be a guy that can contribute 5-on-5 and finish off more chances?
Yeah, well, when you play on the top line, you got to score. There's no first line player that goes the full year without creating and scoring a lot of goals. So you definitely need to score. Is it pressure? Yes, but that's just the name of the game. Obviously, I'm not hitting the panic button. We're 5 games in here, so obviously we got a step forward in last game. Obviously, I'd like to get a little more production, but at the same time, just stay patient, stick with it, not get frustrated. I know it will come. It's just a matter of time.
And without crowds, and I don't know if you addressed this earlier, I apologize, but you've always been an emotional player, and the games this year across the league, barely been any fights. It's not as physical. Do you sense that as a player? Like, has the game changed that much? Is it harder to change the momentum physically or even verbally now?
It's definitely different. I'll say that. I think every NHL player would agree that I think this whole pandemic has made us realize how much we truly appreciate the fans and the energy they create in the building. But at the same time, you have to try to create your own energy. Obviously, it might not be there every shift, but especially my job is to play physical, and I have to find a way to find something to get me to do that on a nightly basis and a shift basis.
Thank you. This ends Zach Kassian's media availability. Please stay tuned. general nurse. Again, if you have a question, please use the raise hand function. If you have a follow-up, please ask it following your first. First question, Bob Stauffer, 6:30 Ched.
Hey, Darnell. Just a quick thought on, do you feel without Oscar, you know, he played 25 minutes, this increases your workload? How do you think that's gone through the first 5 games for you?
Yeah, obviously it increases the workload a bit. I mean, that's why we work out in the summer. Get ready for the season. It hasn't felt overwhelming at all, and you know, it's hopefully we'd like a few more wins so far this year. But yeah, as the season's gone on, as the games have gone on, felt more and more comfortable. So just looking forward to what's next.
Next question, Jim Matheson, Post Media. Oh, Jim. Sorry, Lance Hornby, go ahead.
I don't know. Kyle Dubas was very vocal in saying he's admired the way you've developed as a player. Can you talk about your relationship with Kyle going back?
Yeah, obviously Kyle was drafted me to Sault Ste. Marie. Gave me a chance and every opportunity to develop, especially at the age I was really raw and came into the league. And I mean, Kyle only pushed me to become better as a player, but also as a person. And whether it was in the schoolroom, in the books, or on the ice, he was always someone who was very instrumental, especially in that developmental stage of my career. So I'm always so grateful for obviously the opportunity and all the guidance they gave me at that point. And it's very for me, it's great to see him having success and at this level too.
And a quick follow, you mentioned the schoolwork. What sort of things did he help in that regard?
Well, I mean, he really pushed it, all of us really in the Greyhounds. He pushed us not only to, to take care of the on ice play, but off ice. Obviously, there's so much more to life than just playing the game of hockey. So, whether it was checking and making sure our grades were good, or sending us the odd article that could help you really look at life maybe in a little different perspective, or look at the way you need to work in a different perspective. So that was always kind of cool to have your UGM reach out and have that kind of connection as a player.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Darnell, when you play a team back to back, is the advantage with the team that's won the game, or the advantage with the team that's lost the game because they have 2 days to play the same team again and it becomes more of a chess match?
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, when you play back to back, you can kind of look at it from either perspective. I don't think there's so an advantage. I think there's just more motivation for whatever side you're on. Obviously, if you're the team that dropped one, you want to get it back. And if you're the team that won, you want to stay on the gas pedal. So I wouldn't say there's an advantage, but there's definitely motivation on both sides. And the question I think more becomes, who's more hungry? It's easy to look at the team that lost and say they're going to be the more hungry team. But for us, we have to have the mindset that these 2 points are even more important than the 2 that we got the other night.
And could you sense their frustration last game with the way you were checking with their star players? They didn't get much going.
I think that needs to be an identity of our team is to check hard. And we definitely checked better last game, and it just needs to continue on to another level. But yeah, that's how you frustrate teams, is by being in good positions and on top of players. And obviously they have a lot of skill and a very high power team and a very good team. So we're gonna have to come out and check the same way.
Brock Hitchkowski, Post Media.
Look at the season schedule, and it's nothing but 4-point games against rivals, and they're all from Canada. It's, what Canadian, hockey fans are like, and media and everything. How important is it as a player to just try and keep a level head through all this when it, 1 minute the roof is falling in, and the next minute you're going to win the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, you have to put that on the rear view and not even think about it. I mean, the most important thing for us, you come to the rink every day, and it's how can we be better within our system, look within our own game, and talk amongst each other. The outside noise is something that you have to let be on the outside. It's important for us to focus on our game and what we can be, what we can accomplish if we stick to that and can't listen to the outside noise.
Another thing I was asking Zach, what do you guys do on the road now that there's COVID and everything's closed and you can't go out, you can't go to each other's rooms?
Yeah, you're in the meal room. You got 4 guys in the meal room all spread out. We have a lounge where, you can hang out. You guys spread out. We have those Nintendo Switches. So we've been playing a little bit of Mario Kart. So there's, I get creative one way or another. I got a couple, myself and a few guys, we have some books we're reading. So yeah, there's a bunch of different things that you can do. It's just, that's funny. You can't go to you come to Toronto and there's some great restaurants that you like to go to and can't do that or see family. So it's definitely different, but there's definitely an opportunity still for us to bond in this region.
Next question, Mark Masters, TSN.
Hi, Darnell. Just to follow up, I guess, what's on your reading list? What books are kind of making an impact on you?
I got a couple more. I got The Mindful Athlete that I'm reading. Millionaire Next Door. This book that I've just finished up, and I got Crib Sheet, which is a different read for me.
And on another note, just what's the absence of Austin Matthews do to change the dynamic tonight?
Yeah, obviously he's one of the best players in the league. So I think, you look at the Toronto team with him out of the lineup, there's still so many players that can make an impact, especially offensively. They play with high pace, and they play the style of game that whoever comes into their lineup is going to bring the same thing, the same energy. So for us, we have to be ready. No matter who's out there, we have to be ready for what's to come.
Jack Michaels, 6'3" Chad.
Just a quick question about the plane, Darnell. One of the things about being a Western Canadian team is you got a lot of long flights, a lot of card games, a lot of opportunities to hang out, but I don't get the sense that's the atmosphere at all. Can you give me some sense of what goes on the plane?
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like the hotel. There's some reading going on. There's more guys reading books and playing Nintendo Switch than I think I've ever seen. So because you can't. That was the cool thing with the plane. You got the card table going. You got 8 guys going, having conversation. And, there's lots of live people on the plane all the time. There's lots of laughing and joking around, and it's kind of different. Everyone's got a mask on, and you're in your own seat. So it's interesting because you kind of got to find different ways to make it make your time useful.
Next question, Luke Fox, Sportsnet.
Hi, Darnell. You mentioned The Mindful Athlete. I'm just wondering if you meditate.
Yeah, I actually did start to get into that a little bit. So yeah, I do. I'm not very good at it yet. I know it takes a lot of practice. So I'll have to get that more into the daily routine.
What kind of benefits have you seen from it?
Oh, just the calming state. I think just to be able to, today's day and age, you set your phone, TV, everything is going a million miles an hour. So just to be able to sit down and kind of put life in perspective and slow down, and I find that really useful, especially in today's day and age.
Any other hands, media? Thank you. This concludes Darnell Nurses and the Edmonton College Media availability today.